Hey everyone, welcome back to Lamps and Family Farms. My name is Max, and today we're going to do something a little different than what I usually do. We're going to be talking specifically about the delivery of Ray's calf. So these next few clips are going to be last Thursday, which is 5 days before she was actually due. So we're going to talk about the signs and the developments of her before she calved. Okay, so I thought I'd show you while she's eating here and distracted. So you can see her udder here. You can see right about there the 4 udder stops, and then a lot of that is edema. She's getting pretty hard. But what I meant by the teats being strutted was that they're getting full, but they're not super hard. And then for her pins, right here is where her pins are. You can see she's getting pretty soft, but they're not completely gone. Earlier this week, they were even higher, like right around here, and they were pretty hard. But the further, the more time goes on, I'm able to sink my fingers in to this crevice a little bit more, and that's just getting ready for birth. So she is losing her pins, but I don't think she's all the way there yet. She's obviously getting, I know, sweetie, pretty loose, but not quite there yet. So what I meant about the 4 udder was, this is her udder here, and it's very hard. You can see here where it's still hard, but here is soft. This is edema. This is where her udder ends. Even though she does have a little bit of, the darker hair here, this is still her udder. She's a lot harder on this side than she was the other side. So she's definitely getting close, but I still think we have a couple more days. Okay, so full warning, if you do not want to see a birth video, end the video now. This clip was taken 3 days before she calved. You can see she has some mucus and her udder is getting very hard. So here we go. This is when she was starting labor. So I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceover here just to narrate what's happening. So Ray went into labor Tuesday afternoon, and from the time that I'm starting to help her here to when the calf was on the ground was about 20 minutes. I probably did not need to help her, but I'm very much a hands-on person, and the hooves were out and she didn't really seem to be progressing that quickly, so I decided to help. And what I'm mostly doing here is just pulling the front hooves of the calf while she's having contractions just to try to get things moving. I was really worried there. You can see the purple tongue coming out, and so I thought maybe it had been a little bit too long. So I wanted to try to help her get the calf out as quickly as possible. I am going to speed up quite a bit of this just because I'm pretty much just doing this for about 20 minutes. Now, I think it's important to note for people who aren't used to cows and their birth. I know it looks like I'm pulling really hard, but I'm not really, because I feel like for a lot of standard cows, they recommend a cow puller, which will literally crank out a calf. Me just pulling on it with her contractions is not too hard for her, and it's not too hard for the calf. They really do recommend for pulling standard calves that you get like at least a nylon leash or chains to wrap around those front hooves so you can actually get traction because they are very slippery. So I was trying not to pull too hard to, hurt the tendons of the calf, and she is walking just fine. She's totally fine. So I just want you guys to know not to worry. I know it looks like I'm really pulling at her, but so you can see here too that Ray is really concerned about looking up the afterbirth, even though there's really not that much on the ground at this point. So she's clearly not in distress. I don't even have her clipped. She's not going anywhere. So she's really not hurting here. She's just working on trying to have contractions and me timing the pulling with that. So she's really fine. And you can see sometimes where I put my hand in to try to open things up. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to stretch a little bit further because she's so close to having that head out. And when she's got that head out, then really the hips will come very easily. So if she can dilate enough to get that head out, then we're going to be all set. So I'm just trying to help her dilate so we can get this calf head out, because you can see right there the nose is out and the tongue is out, as well as the hooves, but we're really just stuck on the skull of that calf. Um, and things are going to progress really quickly here in just about a minute, because she is very close to having that head out. And then you'll see just in a little bit, once that head is out, the rest of the calf comes very quickly, and then she's on the ground. And then Ray turns around pretty soon right after that and starts to lick the calf. Okay, so a couple big pushes, and you can see right about here. There we go, there's the head, and Ray's not even noticing. So a little bit of pull down. You always want to pull down, trying to get the hips out. And there we go, there's her hips, and she's out. I'm just moving her head so she can breathe. Okay, so this is just a few minutes after she came out. Ray was very hormonal and going a little crazy, to be honest. Hyacinth was really freaking her out, and I think I was too close. So I backed up and we just gave her a couple minutes for her to calm down. She was really over grooming, and she did step on the calf a couple of times. So we just made sure to back off and just give her a second. So we always were going to pull the calf, but I pulled the calf about 2 minutes after that. Ray walked away with a scoop of grain. Okay, so Ray is passing her placenta right now, which is great. A couple hours after birth. Doing good. Looks like she's taking a little bit of a rest. So she was able to lick off the calf, and then we brought the calf into the barn, and then we brought Ray into the barn for milking, and that worked out pretty well. She's not stressed out. This is her all of like 2 hours after birth. So far she's not looking for the calf. I think she will be fine. You know, a lot of the dairy breeds especially aren't great moms, and I don't think Ray would have been a great mom this time. And sometimes they do better the second time around, but she was definitely very territorial. I was in there with her and she did okay. I gave her some space, but it was not like Hyacinth when she calves. Hyacinth is very docile, now we know, but Ray was definitely panicking. She was most likely over licking her ears. In fact, I was worried she was going to bite them off. She did step on her hooves a couple of times, and she was just very panicky. So I don't really think she knew what was going on, but you know, she might make a great mom at some point. We did pull the calf this time around. Everybody will be fine. The calf is going to be in the barn and will be on a bottle. Okay, so this is Ray milking the next day. You can see she's already doing great. She's not really kicking. She's very patient. She's milking so far about 5 gallons a day, and I'm not pushing production. All right, so the maternity ward has turned into sheep and goats on this side. We've got Gaia's twins and the 5 new bottle lambs, all curled up taking a nap. And then on the other side, we have Ray's calf. Everybody is doing great so far. Ray's calf is settling very well and doing good on the bottle. And the sheep and goat kids are almost fully adjusted to being on the lamb bar bucket. So no more middle of the night feedings for me. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We really appreciate it.